Welcome back to AM Sports Cover 4. Jay, I wanted you and I to get together and talk about our two favorite college football teams. Those teams are the Miami Hurricanes and, of course, my Florida State Seminoles. I am a proud graduate, a member of the Battles Inn, and also a booster. Jay, I want to talk about the transfer quarterbacks that we both got this past year. Now, Cam Ward entered the transfer portal. He was a highly sought after transfer. He visited both Florida State and Miami. We were both in contention to get the services of Cam Ward, but then Cam mentioned that he was going to the NFL. Now, personally, I believe that that was just a ploy to drive up the price for his services. Florida State decided to bow out, considering we needed to move forward with our plans. And ultimately, he ended up with the Miami Hurricanes, which I would say you guys would probably say that he is a considerable upgrade over Tyler Van Dyke. Now, on our end, we ended up going with DJ Uiagalelei, who came to us from not only Clemson, but also Oregon State. DJ did show some challenges at Clemson, but was much, much better when he went to Oregon State, and now he is a Florida State Seminole, and I think he fits well into the organization. Now, Jay, I'm going to start with you and your Miami Hurricanes, Cam Ward. How do you feel Cam Ward is going to fit into the system that you guys currently have, and how do you think he's going to impact the team overall?
I think it's going to fit in perfectly. I mean, some of the terminology we use is very similar to what he used at Washington State, and he's exactly what we needed. We need someone, he's not necessarily, a runner, but he can scramble, and he scrambles to throw. He's not afraid of doing that. That's one thing Van Dyke would not do. Van Dyke would just sit back there, and we had one of the top 5, top 10 lines, offensive lines, in as far as pass blocking in college football last year. Van Dyke would just fall. He got sacked just by being back there. He couldn't read his zone. Cam has shown that he's been able to read his zone. He makes plays on it with his feet as well. The only concern I had with Cam was that he did have some fumbles issues. They've already talked about that. Everyone knew about that. Everyone knew about that already. But I just think it's the fact that, for one, the line he had at Washington State was nothing in comparison to what the line he's going to have at Miami. And the weapons we have, X coming back, JG3 coming back, we got JoJo Trader coming in. We got Isaiah Horton. And then with the running game that we had with Mark Fletcher, we'll see Trevante Citizen comes into play, Henry Parrish. We got a lot of tools for him, a lot of weapons for him at his hands that he didn't have at Washington State. So I think that familiarity with some of the terminology, along with the offensive line that we're going to have. Yeah, we lost 2 people. We replaced one of them with another, pretty much an all-pro center. And Carpenter, we're still working on the left guard situation there. I think we'll be okay with that after a while. But I think we're going to he's a great fit for us. He's a leader. The players are already immersing him. They love him already. They show that. They're like, man, they're just like ready to ball with him. TVD had a good year on the red last year. Then after teams learned that he couldn't read a zone defense, they started picking him apart. They started picking on him. I wish TVD the best in Wisconsin. I don't know if he's going to be starting over there or whatnot, but I think this was the home run hit that Miami needed to go along with a schedule that's not necessarily strongest in the country. It works best for us. Get a couple of games under our belt to get going, and we get things moving with Cam at the helm. I think this could be a hell of a year for Miami. But Cam was the home run hit that we needed. We needed to win at QB. We haven't had a QB with this type of fame and fair in a while. TVD had that 1 year on the red, like I said, and then he disappeared. And Cam is one that, from what I've been watching on the 1 week of spring practice they've had, and spring camp that they've done, he's been a leader out there. The players are like, okay, this is what we needed. He's been more of a verbal type leader. Some quarterbacks are non-verbal out there, but you more a quarterback that's going to lead you and tell you what to do and lead by example. More so, TVD wasn't that style of person. That wasn't his personality to be out there yelling or anything like that, or cracking jokes and challenging you like that. From what I read, Cam is that dude. So I'm happy as hell that we got Cam. I think it's going to be a hell of a year for the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, I can possibly see Miami having a good year, specifically because of how weak the schedule is, and we'll see. On Florida State end, DJ Uiagalelei, one of the things that we were challenged with, Jay, last year was being vertical. We just weren't the vertical threat that we had hoped to be, and that was partly due to the fact that we didn't have a lot of speed. We had Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, great players in terms of contested catches. And that was our bread and butter last year, but we didn't have that vertical threat. We actually missed Pokey Wilson, and a lot of people didn't really think we would miss Pokey Wilson, but Pokey Wilson was our vertical threat. Jay, you might remember him. He burnt you guys in the year before when we blew you out by almost 42 points, or actually 42 points. He was the one that caught that deep touchdown pass. But anyway, so that's one of the challenges that we've had now, bringing DJ Uiagalelei in. He is going to be a more potent vertical threat versus Jordan Travis. However, he's not as good as throwing off platform as Jordan Travis or even Cam Ward. Cam Ward is actually excellent at throwing off platform. But what DJ do bring to the table is, I think, a running game, to be quite honest with you, because of the size of DJ. Trying to get, 3rd and 3 I think that's going to be fairly easy. And not only that, we did bring a lot of speed into the organization with Malik Benson this past year. We're hoping that he'll be that X factor that we missed last year. We still got Hakeem Williams. We need people like Darian Williamson to step up and be threats as well, and some of those veterans like Deuce Spann to be threats from a wide receiver perspective. But man, there's a lot of questions to be answered in regards to Florida State offense that hopefully we'll get some of the answers to during the spring. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we both were in need of a quarterback and replacing, what was lost last year, just to upgrade. For y'all, it was more or less replacing Lil Fizz at QB. And for us, it was just us getting the quarterback that we need that's going to be a general back there for our offense. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting year, and I'm excited to see what happens for both teams, because although y'all are rival, I'm always you always keep tabs on your rival, what they're doing, because you don't want to be caught off guard on what they have, what they may not have. So we'll see what y'all do with DJ. I was surprised y'all went for DJ. I thought y'all may have gone for someone else maybe, just because some of his struggles he did have at Clemson. He had a decent year last year, but we'll see. I mean, and also sometimes change the scenery can help out as well. And with y'all losing y'all top two wide receivers and y'all quarterback, continuity, we'll see how that works for y'all.
Yeah, well, Mike Norvell is the QB whisperer, so we're not really too much concerned about his ability once he comes into the Florida State program. He's developed multiple quarterbacks in the past, and Jordan Travis is just an example of how well Mike Norvell can actually develop a quarterback. Not only that, we did bring in some linemen in Richie Leonard, Terrence Ferguson as well. So hopefully they'll bolster the inside. Richie Leonard came from Florida. Ferguson came from Alabama. So we'll see. And I'm trying to remember there was an LSU kid that we brought in too at receiver. But I don't think he's going to be much of a Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is who we also brought in. I don't think he's going to be much of a factor this upcoming year, but we'll see, man. There's a lot of opportunity for both of these quarterbacks. We'll see how they both fit into these systems, and we'll go from there. I think Miami has an opportunity. Honestly, it's going to depend a lot on coaching. And, I know you don't like when I say this, but I've always been critical of Mario. I think he can hinder quarterbacks to some extent. We'll see what ends up happening with Ward. Ward is a talented quarterback. We've seen Ward in other settings. So in theory, he should come in and excel. So we'll see what ends up happening. DJ, I think Mike Norvell has proven that he is a guy that can put a quarterback in the right position. And if he doesn't thrive, then I can tell you one thing, Florida State is going to be a struggle. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to this. Both quarterbacks coming into Miami and Florida State will be interesting. Miami starts off the season against the University of Florida. I can't wait to see that game. Similar to what you say, Jay, you're always keeping tabs on your rivals. And then we start the game off against Georgia Tech over in Ireland. So you guys tell us what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is AM Sports Cover 4, and we are